The Misty Hour. First, let us know about the author. Manoj Das is a versatile Indian writer who writes in both Odia and English. He has published some 80 books till now. The works of Manoj Das have been widely translated as well. Manoj Das was born in the small coastal village in Balasore district of Odisha in 1934. In his early life, Das had the opportunity to come in touch with many inspirational personalities, which spurred his interest in writing. During school days, he published a book of Odia poems and also brought out a literary journal, namely Digantika. Manoj Das served as a professor of English literature at the Sri Aurobindo International Center of Education. Manoj Das is a master of dramatic expression both in his English and Odia short stories and novels. Critics often compare Manoj Das to Vishnu Sharma for his magnificent style of storytelling, perhaps one of the best in India at present times. Now, let's understand about the story. The Misty Hour is a story which revolves round two characters, an incorruptible political leader, Chinmay Babu, and beautiful well-educated Auntie Roopwati. The narrator of the story, who is a man of the press and also an aide to Chinmay Babu, develops the story in lively gossiping manner. The narrative develops the plot with interplay between the present and the past. The story, set in provincial town of India, goes back to the pre-independence era. In the 30s of the 20th century, Roopwati, an adorably beautiful graduate, came of a respectable family. She was a smart speaker and always conscious of her attractive bearing. When this young lady joined the freedom struggle, many budding leaders of that time were dying to marry her. But Roopwati preferred to marry Jagdish ji, a man of personal integrity and idealism. Roopwati's audacious and arrogant manners towards her newly-wed husband on the very first night after wedding ruined their married life. It destroyed Jagdish ji's spirit to such an extent that he died only at an age of 35. The ruined family life enabled her to continue an active political life even after the independence of India. Rupvati never got to assume any official position, however, she enjoyed the privilege of her proximity to many leaders of her time. The young generation of political aspirants gave her the name Auntie. She had gown septua, Generian. But Rupvati had enough bloom left in her. She could strip layer after layer of reputation of any of the political leaders. Surprisingly, Auntie never abused Chinmay Babu. She seemed to have a soft corner for him. Chinmay Babu was the lone gentleman of politics. In his youth, he was a fellow member with Rupvati in the party which fought for independence. In post-independent era, he joined politics, but did not come to the limelight until the people got disillusioned with loudmouth leaders. All of a sudden, Chinmay Babu's reputation as an honest politician attracted public attention. He climbed the ladder in politics rapidly, a city mayor, then a Rajya Sabha MP, and finally chief ministerial candidate. When Auntie met Chinmay Babu first in his new role as a mayor, the latter was happy to meet one of his old accomplices. But Roopwati started boasting of her acquaintance with Chinmay Babu in public. The lady, whether wanted or not, made her presence feel near Chinmay Babu in public meetings. People started rumoring about Roopwati and Chinmay Babu. It embarrassed Chinmay Babu a lot. Gradually, he started to avoid her company or presence, and that was why he refused to accept her help in his election campaign as a chief ministerial candidate. The rejection offended Auntie so much that she joined Chinmay Babu's opposition camp. Rupvati willingly disclosed a past incident to damage Chinmay Babu's image. She claimed that Chinmay Babu had been her lover once. Even on one occasion, he tried to take advantage of darkness during a party session and steadily tried to touch her hand when there was a power cut. The story took a twist. Dhani Chaudhary, the erstwhile treasurer of the party, emerged from nowhere to claim that it was he, not Chinmay Babu, who tried to touch Rupati's hand. Shortly after the admission of Dhani Chaudhary, Auntie came down with high fever and soon died of pneumonia. The very next day, after Auntie's death, something surprising took place. On his way back from election campaign, Chinmay Babu visited Auntie's pyre. The narrator, who was accompanying Chinmay Babu on the tour, saw him placing a bouquet on the ashes of the pyre and wiping his eyes again and again. Thus, the story ends and leaves the reader with a disturbing question. Was Dhani Chaudhary's confession true?